In search of a tactic with the best defense. Let's check and see if this one works. This one is called the 3-4-3 par. I'm not really sure where par comes from, but the description is it basically says quest for the best defense, 3-4-3, no underlap, and sit narrow on the wingbacks. So we will check that out with our three teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League and our championship side of Ipswich Town. So with all that quickly said, let's just get into the Premier League and see how they did. Well, clearly it worked. Aston Villa topping the table, 90 points, 103 whopping goals. Very well done. Even Liverpool in third. Third place may not be the greatest, but they're above their point expectation. So 88 points, 100 goals. Yeah, it seems to be very interesting so far. Well, Aston Villa being on top of the table, we are going to start with them. They already have the Premier League title. Unfortunately, they lose out in the Carabao Cup fourth round 1-3 to Brighton. But they do pad their trophy cabinet 3-2 in extra time in the FA Cup final against Manchester City, beating Ipswich Town along the way. And let's just make it 3 trophies overall in the Europa Conference League final, 2-1 in extra time over Rennes. So clearly, overall, a fantastic season for Aston Villa. The only downside is the Carabao Cup fourth round dropout by Brighton, but still, topping the league, topping the FA Cup, topping the Europa Conference League, you did well. So overall, how did they do in the stats? Well, goals wise, 18 is the tops, interestingly enough. 16, or Diaby with 18, 16 for Patrick Schick in there. But they have a lot in the double digits. 20 assists for Douglas Luiz, Digne with 19, not too bad there. Average rating, Digne with a 7.65. And as we switch over to Liverpool's domestic cup run, not great. Carabao Cup third round immediately against Nottingham Forest 1-3, and FA Cup fifth round against Crystal Palace 0-1. But an absolutely perfect run through Europe. You get a 4-0 win over Newcastle in the Europa League final with only 6 goals against total. That's pretty big. So overall, it's not a bad season for Liverpool at all. I mean, FA Cup and Carabao Cup, you really blew the pooch on that one. However, winners of the Europa League, third place again is not bad with 88 points. You're only 1 off of Tottenham in the Premier League. Hopefully you can get better on them, and only still 2 off of Aston Villa. So there's plenty of room to work with, but I think you're on good footing. Liverpool squad, as we take a look, they did, not as many green as you'd expect, but 30 goals for Nunez is fantastic. 21 for Salah. You do spread that wealth around a bit. Assists, 25 for Robertson, 20 for Trent. Not bad at all. And then Andrew Robertson with a 7.41. Data hub, as you can see for Aston Villa, through the roof attacking and dribbling in this one. Goals per game, 2.71, 1.27 above the Premier League average. Nice. A flat 1 conceded per game and a 0.91 XG against. That's good for them. And of course, Liverpool through and through attacking. That's what we come to love and expect. 2.63 goals per game, 1.19 above the average, 0.71 conceded, 0.62 XG. Premier League stats, Aston Villa topping the list with 2.37 points per game, Liverpool in third with 2.32. Most goals, first place for Aston Villa with 103, like we saw, Liverpool with 102nd. Few shots against, Liverpool in first with 204, Aston Villa in sixth with 328. Most dribbles made, Liverpool in first with 904, Aston Villa in third with 748. Best pass completion, 87% for both. And then most shots for Liverpool with over 700 and 635 for Aston Villa. Well, clearly this worked for our Premier League sides, but how did it do for our championship side? Ipswich Town in first place, 105 goals, 107 points. They did pretty well. And they did a phenomenal job in the Carabao Cup, getting to the final, losing out only in penalties to Newcastle. But we already saw FA Cup quarters against Aston Villa 0-1. So overall, a phenomenal season for Ipswich Town. We've probably seen tactics that have had better saves than this one with more points, more goals, but still topping the list, the new norm. Quarterfinals of the FA Cup is pretty nice. And runners up of the Carabao Cup to a Premier League team. Yeah, this definitely worked. Squad wise, yeah, they're never going to get the full set of green, unfortunately. But goals, 28 for George Hurst. He's finally back up there with only 15 starts. This dude needs to play more. Assists, 12 for Wes Burns. And then average rating, a Leif Davis 7.36. Championship stats, Ipswich in first with 2.33 points per game. Most goals in second with 105. Leicester doing really well. Few shots against in first with 281. most dribbles made in first with 955, and most shots for in first with 767. But now let us take a look at this tactic. Sweeper, keeper, and defend is where you start out. You have a 3-back line with ball-playing defenders in defend, 2 wingbacks on the side in attack, 2 segunda volantes in attack, inside forward in support on both sides, and then an advanced forward in attack up front. Balanced mentality, in possession attacking with his narrow, approach plays pass into space, focus play down the left and the right, passing directness is shorter, tempo is higher, low crosses run at defense, in transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly and roll it out. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent your goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, step up more, and invite the crosses. So overall, how did this do for our 3 teams? Yeah, pretty darn well. I mean, Ipswich Town in first place, like I said, is the new norm. 107 points, 105 goals, pretty nice. I mean, they're still a little bit above Southampton, so not too bad. And if we look at Aston Villa, first place, that is phenomenal. 90 points, 103 goals is really well done. Liverpool in third, 88 with 100 goals. I mean, even in third, it's still pretty good. And the defense piece, which they were on the quest for the best defense, pretty nice. I mean, below average in terms of the XG goals against, the goals against itself. So overall, I mean, you've got really well numbers in attack and really good numbers in defense as well. So definitely check this out with your team. See how you can meld it in with your own players and things like that, and dip into the transfer market, pick up some better players for those positioning. I think you could do really well with this. But that is it for me, Sefian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.